Previously, on Twilight's Edge. With a job well done, the members of our party go their separate ways. Flint and Marble return to the Archon's anthology, where the Kobold Tatari is reminded of his draconic heritage. Sombra and Lowen have a conversation about cutting one's strings, and Nico and Zekun report to Ravaja in the Pleats. Though their job for the concerned citizens is done, it seems there might still be some strands of fate tying our party together. Hello and welcome to another episode of Twilight's Edge here at Tumble Through.
Tumble Through. Ooh.
I am your game master.
My game master, personally.
No one else
I
is.
keep him in a box. I bring him as just for this.
I may be a game master, but I'm also a player.
No, your slutty vampire is the other campaign, Krifu.
Might be going also a slutty vampire.
Yes, I can be. My name is Krifu Bernal. My pronouns are he, him. And when I'm not a slutty vampire, I'm the game master here for this campaign. We're down on Marcus today, but let's see who else we've got.
We have an Ida. Hi. My pronouns are she and her, and I am playing Sombra, whose pronouns are she and they. She is a fetchling or Kayal monk. Her punches just got more badasser. I can't wait.
Hi, I am Anna. I use them pronouns, and I'm playing Lowen, who uses he/they pronouns, and who is a Hellspawn Nephilim wizard who has gotten just a more edgy, I guess. Considering Evan loves to call him an edgelord, it's gotten even worse now.
Is it even possible to get
You're
edgy?
all edge, you're a pizza cover. There's no point.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh. Hi, I'm Pan, he, they, she, and I play Flint, he, him, the ruffian rogue Tatari kobold. Flint's also gotten better at hitting things hard and stabbing them and hiding from other things, so I'm looking forward to making him do all three of those things and none other ones.
Amazing. Kia ora, I'm Evan, aka Māori Nerd, and my pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Nico, who is a rainfall orc, and who is a leaf druid. You have to excuse me, my voice sounds a little bit off today.
If you're wondering why they're talking about, why are these characters better and blah, 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 it's because we leveled up.
Finally.
Right.
Seemed like forever.
Give me them points.
After some miscalculations from
Math.
someone, I don't know who was miscalculating.
Slutty vampire.
Whatever.
After a slutty vampire.
Slutty vampires are notoriously bad at math.
They didn't need to be good at math.
Yeah, when he's mad.
Fine.
We have leveled up at level 2, and our characters have selected some free archetypes to enhance some of the skills that they already have, to be better at new things, to become edgier, or to not give their familiar arms.
Really?
Or whatever.
Come on.
Fugo has got more familiar abilities. So double the amount of familiar abilities that they can have. Still no arms, still no hands.
Just more toes.
Fugo doubled the amount of
toes.
arms Fugo has, which is 0 times 2 is 0.
Still 0.
Yeah, they've got tentacles, they got feet flippers, wings. No hands.
Everything but arms.
But yes, we return to West Crown in the late afternoon, and our party members are making their way back to the Shrine of Aroden, the safe house of Genevan and Ariel's gang. No, concerned citizen group.
It's a sex cult.
What? That might... What?
That's just the vibe I got.
I do think some of you may be stopping for errands to pick up items or whatnot, what have you. But based on where we left off last time, Lowen and Sombra would arrive back to the safe house first.
Yes, on the way there, Lowen would have dropped off a letter that he wrote earlier somewhere. I don't know, postal. Do they work at postal services? What's the postal service like here?
You know what? I was going to ask you that question.
Well, I'm not a GM.
Yeah, but this is a troop. We are all players at the table.
Enough. Okay. I don't know.
So the question is, you're sending this letter to
It's not
Zyvan.
owls.
Not owls.
Not owls, no.
Which your favorite GM's favorite GM has notedly pointed out are the slowest birds. It's not owls. But your missive to Zyvan, is it something that you would send through regular post?
I think we established last time that it would be sent to one of his warehouses or something, or his companies. So it would have just been made out to be a normal business letter. And it's also written in Shadow Tongue, and usually he tries to keep it quite vague. And the return address is not his own apartment. It's just some other point in the neighborhood. I reckon maybe he asked someone if they can use their address, or just a regular, like a tavern or something. I'm assuming that people can drop off like letters at taverns for people that are staying there for a little bit and then passing through.
Interesting. That like the local taverns have boxes for whatever postal service picks up. That's instead of having a postal, like a post house, it's just your local tavern.
Yeah, it might be. Or I'm assuming that sometimes people travel through the city, or they might be staying in the city for a month or two, and then they want to have a place that people can send them letters to, so they can just write their loved one you can send letters to insert address of the tavern. So maybe from that, because taverns start offering that kind of service, it's grown into this whole thing where people can now just kind of I don't know if it's like in other countries, but here a lot of stores that sell stationery have also now become postal places, something like that. Yeah,
I love it. Postal service tavern style.
Yes, that would also be the return address for Lowen, so that he could pick it up there.
It sounds very unsafe. I bet.
That's why it's cheap.
That's why it's cheap. It sounds
yeah.
Have you ever heard of Post Restante?
No.
It's a service. UK. Well, when I first got here and I didn't have a permanent address, people could send it to the post office, addressed to with my name, and I would go in with identification and just collect my post.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Huh. So it does exist, so we just have to give it a fantasy name.
Yeah.
So what is the name of the tavern or inn where you left it? And if you want to popcorn it to someone else, they can decide for you.
I'm gonna call it the Smokestack Tavern.
Oh, nice.
Oh, the smokestack.
Totally didn't steal that for my own campaign.
Huh? What?
What? Didn't have that on hand or anything.
The smokestack is actually really well known, being one of the first taverns in Rego Scripa, or the Scribe sector, to have offered this service. And since then it's grown, and when you walk up and walk past it, you can see many postal carriers sort of hanging out there, waiting, shooting the shit, talking shop, etc. So as soon as you drop it into a box, there's probably some young, dew-eyed, fresh postal carrier who jumps up, runs over to the box, takes out the single letter, puts it in her bag, and immediately begins running to a ferry.
First day on the job, not gilded yet.
Right.
Give her a month.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like every time Lowen gets there to drop off a letter, there's a new person. It's never the same person.
Is terrible.
It's true.
It's never the same person.
But when Lowen and Sombra step into the Shrine of Aroden, they can see seated in the main chamber around the plinth and pedestal is Genevan and Ariel, sort of sitting on the stage with their legs hanging off and intertwining. And they can see the rest of the group here sort of hanging out, chilling, But if the two of you are perceptive, you might like look around and see that all the other people here are like keep looking over at Genevan and Ariel and like sort of smiling when they see them being together and happy to be together. When you step in, they all sort of look up and nod and smile, and Fiosa and Morris come over to you first.
Lowen would just greet Morris and just be like, any updates?
Well, everything was fine here. No intruders, no guards or Hell Knights coming by to scope out the place. And yeah, it was pretty quiet.
Good.
Fiosa nods. I haven't heard anything from my contacts yet about what happened, but based on what I know, we should maybe find out tomorrow how Citadel Revad wants to respond to this. She looks a little worried, but she turns to Sombra and smiles and says, Sombra, I'm really glad to see you here.
Yeah, I'm glad it was quiet. Gives us a chance to breathe before they figure out what sort of revenge they have in store for us.
If I know the Order of the Rack, and you know I do,
You do.
they're going to sit on this. What we did this morning is really embarrassing. Cringy, even, for them.
All right. As cringy and embarrassing as that is, how does that translate to the concerns of the community?
Well, I guess that's what Ariel and Genevan need to decide. And she,
those two
looks
over there? Sombra raises her arm and her voice and ensures that she has caught the attention of the two lovebirds.
They sort of, straighten up and nod and, whisper, yes, well, let's later, well, yeah, I love you too. And then jump off the stage and walk over. Sombra, Ariel reaches out a hand towards you.
Sombra will receive the hand.
And he shakes it. I can't begin to thank you again. I know we owe you some coin. I'll make sure you get that before you leave.
That's much appreciated. And I wish that didn't happen to you. Sincerely. The boy looked a mess.
Morris looks a little embarrassed or shy, really, maybe more when you say that. But Ariel nods. I'm sorry we had to leave you with those two thugs. But I assume you managed to take care of yourself?
I was part of the rescue party, wasn't I?
Yes, that's true.
But all things considered, how are you making sure that whatever you're getting yourself into doesn't leave more of a mess for everyone else who doesn't get a voice to be involved, who just has to sit and take the consequences? Yes, I understand the long term needs to be better and will be better not to be better. But how do we make sure those in the meantime, in the periphery, don't catch the flack?
He sort of looks around and everybody's kind of looking now. You're standing in the center of the worship area of this old shrine. I can't say I know. I wasn't expecting to be arrested yesterday morning.
I get you weren't expecting to be arrested. And when we don't expect to be arrested, we don't expect other people putting their lives in danger. We don't expect the consequences of those associated with them, of the arrested party. We don't expect that other favors will be owed, other faces and other skills need to be applied. We need to start expecting these things.
Genevan sort of interrupts. We? Sorry, Sombra, I assumed this was just a one-off for you.
Like I said, thoughts and dreams and initiatives are good, but it really pisses me off when those who don't have the means to join eat the consequences. Even if a wave brings forward change, some people end up drowning in that change.
You make a wise point, Ariel says. And I promise, and he sort of addresses the bigger room now, that these points will all be taken into consideration. And everybody sort of nod and smile. Yes, And you can hear them like, Area will take care of it. Yeah, and if not, then Genevan will protect him. They're so... I see some eye rolls from the players.
Yeah, this is terrible.
I was a little sick in my mouth, to be honest.
Sombra's eyes were
I muted so I didn't
rolling.
sound too bad.
She had to look away. You just see her head just look up at the rafters.
Lowen has the amazing thing that their eyes are completely black, so you don't see them roll in their eyes, but they are.
And this must be Lowen. Morris has been telling me about your work.
Right, I see. He just looks at him. Doesn't say anything.
He smiles, waiting for his sort of natural charm to affect you, and then when
Lauren just looks at him, but with this smile. And?
well, we could certainly use someone with your network if you were interested in affecting a change for the better.
Right, and what would that offer me?
We don't have a lot of funds to work with at the moment, but I assure you, as time goes on and maybe we become more legitimate, then we'd be able to offer a wage.
I'll keep it in mind. And they say with this actually they're absolutely not interested in this right now if there's no immediate pay of any kind. But regardless, I think you are quite busy with your, what are they, followers? Admirers? Cattle?
No, we're a team. We're a family.
Ah, yes, a family. How lovely. If you'll excuse me, and he'll look at Morris like, Morosino, I need to talk to you. Private. And they start walking off, expecting him to just follow.
The teen sort of nods, looks between Ariel and Lowen, Ariel and Lowen, sort of shrugs an apology to Ariel, and then quickly follows after Lowen. Sombra, feel free to settle in, and I'll head to the office and grab the rest of your payment.
Perfect. We can discuss follow-up payments later. And Sombra leaves to her room, and you hear the door sort of half close.
Wait, what room are you going to?
I'll go to the nearest empty room and just sort of half close the door.
Okay. So the dining room probably. I know the map isn't up to date. There's still people everywhere,
Sure.
but yes.
Lowen's gonna find a space, I guess as far away from them as possible, where also a door can be closed, so there's privacy.
There are these closets here.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, if you want to go over here into the hallway, you could step in there with Morris.
Are you trying to put Lowen in the closet?
Oh, that's very hard to do.
Never.
Never, no. Yeah, I don't think they'd be really picky. They just want somewhere that's far away from the rest, and that there will be privacy.
Sure, they'll go into the hallway here. You know it well enough.
Yeah. Okay.
The hallway to the east. The narrow hallway where you first came in when you escaped the sewers yesterday evening. Mm-hmm. And there are 3 doors here. One that looks like it goes into, we would guess, a sort of storage space. The other room you're not sure. And then the southern door, you know that leads out to the garden because you saw Yako and Flint go out that way yesterday for their smoke.
Yeah, I think they would go for storage probably.
Okay. Morris is following you, and he says, wait, Lowen, where are you? I mean, that's just...
What? Wait, what? It's just what?
It's just storage. I mean, we don't have to...
What's the problem? I just want to talk.
Then let's talk. And he stays in the hallway and leans
They
against the
give
wall.
him a kind of look at what are you being difficult about? Why is that an issue, Morosino?
Can you make a diplomacy check?
Mm-hmm. That is really bad. I'm gonna hero point that actually.
All right. Everybody has 1 hero point.
That is a nat 20 for 26.
There you go.
Let's go.
For a moment, you can see Morris takes a breath, puffs out his chest, and then sees the look on your face. It's just, Lowen, this isn't your place. You're not in charge of this, and I shouldn't just let you go wherever you want.
I understand that it isn't something I'm in charge in. However, that is what I wanted to talk to you about. So let's do that first, and then maybe you can tell me what's so important about the storage.
I mean, nothing, really. We just keep stuff in there. But
What stuff?
you're a guest here.
Right.
And you're not my boss anymore.
I know. That is also what I wanted to talk to you about. Don't worry, I'm not trying to recruit you back. I'm just trying to... Well, you'll see. And yeah, they will pull him into the storage room.
Okay. It's dark.
Okay.
As you get pulled in, he sort of like tries to leave the door open as much as possible for light from the lanterns in the hallway, which was already dark enough to sort of filter in here.
He's gonna close the door, and he has what's it called? An Everlight crystal that he'll just take out of his pocket and just like activate.
Okay.
And we'll close the door, and we'll stand in front of the door, but not like in a threatening way. But they're not happy with, or they're kind of suspicious of him right now and what he's trying to do. But yeah, they'll hold up the crystal to give him some light.
What color is the crystal?
I think
Whatever color you want.
yeah, I think it's just like this warm in between like white and yellow kind of light. I think it's just a very basic one that he picked up recently from the job that he did for Sivan.
Morris turns around, and as the crystal sort of sputters on with this yellowish white warm light, for a moment the shadow cast behind Lowen onto the door rears up, larger than physically possible. And then Morris blinks and shakes his head, and the shadow is the normal size that it should be. Cuff, Shadowcaster.
Yeah. Well, it said I cannot cast any spells at the light trait, but I can still hold an item, I'm assuming.
Right. Right. Yes, you can. I just wanted to...
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah. Just gonna look at him and be
What
like,
did you want to ask me?
I assume you have noticed that these people are acting a little strangely.
His eyebrows go up, and he shakes his head.
You are smart, Morris. Think.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, I don't have enough evidence yet, but I'm quite good at spotting when something is wrong, and this seems a little bit like a... Well, it reminds me of a cult of sorts.
Lowen, just because things don't run here according to your rules...
I'm not saying that. I'm not that arrogant. I know I am. I know I am what I am. I'm not that arrogant. All I'm saying is, I meant it when I said that you are free to choose your own path. However, I would like to ask you, why this place? Why these people? What are you trying to do? What is your, I guess, your ambition in life? We never got to have that talk properly. You said, yes, you wanted to help people. But why are these people, according to you, the best people to do that?
Well, it started earlier this year. I was doing some jobs during the day when I wasn't working for you at night. And, well, I started doing jobs for Ariel and Genevan. They were easy, mostly just scouting, keeping an eye out. I mean, things I would normally do anyway, but this was different. It felt like there was intention behind it, like a good cause. A few weeks ago, Ariel offered to bring me on full-time as his assistant, and I accepted. I know I was assisting you, and you've taught me a lot, most of everything I know, but it's nice working in the daylight, and it's nice feeling like I belong. I mean, you and the rest of the crew were nice, were cool, but I was always just the kid, and
I understand.
I realized I would always be the kid there. Here, I'm treated a little bit more respectfully.
I understand. And I apologize that you didn't feel respected. I sincerely do. However, what were the most important lessons that I taught you? Please recite them for me.
It was never be caught up creek without an oar. Observe, analyze, and react.
Yes. Have you taken the first step when you joined this group? Have you observed them properly?
Oh, yes. Everyone here brings their own skills, comes from a different background of the city, but all has the same beliefs.
And what were your analyzations of that?
That he kind of looks confused, like not sure where you're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
That if I really wanted to affect change, this would be the group to do it with. Lowen, what are you talking about?
All I'm saying is, keep an eye on what they're doing. Keep an eye on how other people are reacting to your new leaders, your new bosses. Try and talk to them alone. Ask them why they are here. Ask them if they are still in contact with the people from their past. You said they all have different backgrounds, but they share the same religion. That is a very potent source for the start of a cult.
No, not religion. Sorry, beliefs, like ethics. But, I mean, Ariel is, of course, a priest of Iomade, but Genevan's a devout Destin.
Still stand. Talk to the others, alone. Ask them for their reasonings. I mean, I will say, I could be entirely wrong. I am just saying, there are a lot of bad people out there in the world, especially in this city. And you sometimes remind me a little bit of myself when I was younger. You may not have felt respected entirely, but do know that I do care for you in some way, and you know that is rare.
I know. And I don't want to hurt you either. I'm really sorry you got caught up in this, but I'm also glad it's... Lowen, I think you could really help out.
Oh, unfortunately, I don't share the same beliefs. If this is your ambition, if this is what you think you should do, then as I said, you should. I'm just asking you to be careful and not to blindly follow everything they tell you. Use your brain. I know you have one.
He nods and sort of like looks a little awkward.
I would also advise you, if you, considering you seemed so disheartened by the fact that you couldn't join the ambush, I would advise you to change that. Train, whether that is some kind of martial arts or whether you want to pick up magic. If you feel like you want to make a change and people are putting you back constantly, make sure that you prove to them that you are worthy. Put in the work. Put in some effort. I know you can do that.
Yes, sir.
Good. Well, like I said, I'm not your boss. So, and he'll step away and like open the door to him out to be like, I would just hate to see you get lost in, well, some kind of mess.
This feels so creepy. Like a part of this, like bringing him in this like closed room in the dark, standing in front of the door.
Well, the whole reason that he was closing the door was because he didn't want anyone else to listen in.
No, I get that.
And he also didn't want, because I think Lowen currently doesn't really know, because he doesn't trust these people here, and he doesn't really know how far they might have gotten into Moria's head already. So I know it seems very creepy, but I guess also that's kind of the vibe that he has in general. I think
it's his vibe. Yeah.
So like, I think Moria will be used to that into some degree.
I mean, natural 20. Krifu thinks I know exactly what you're making sure you want to at least put a kernel of doubt in Morris's mind.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's trying to do.
And that's what you've done here.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean he's walking away from this with like a pleasant memory.
No,
of
that
this
makes sense. And I don't think Lowen was aiming to make him feel pleasant at all. I think he was definitely trying to plant that seed of doubt there and be like, listen, don't just blindly follow what these people are saying and use your fucking head.
With a crit on the influence check.
Yeah.
That is there.
Yeah.
I want to hop over to the other two here, but first, Sombra stepped into that dining room. I think Fiosa comes and follows you.
Sombra, as soon as she just had an empty space, is immediately just practicing. She's doing punches and kicks into the air.
The door opens again and Fiosa steps in.
Sombra keeps going.
Got a lot of pent-up energy, huh?
You just hear this whoosh of the wind as her fists impact nothing. Energy, concerns. I've been here before, Fiosa. People really optimistic. People having the right dreams. And then it all getting burnt. Jump kick away.
I don't really know your history with she looks around, the bellflowers? Don't worry, nobody here knows.
A series of punches. It's just like she's punching an invisible... What are those bags called?
Punching? Not punching
those
bags.
Those fast moving punching bags, for example.
Speed bags?
She's making Moses as if she's punching into an invisible speed bag. I had a wife, Fiosa. She did everything in her power to dream for her people, your people. People who needed deliverance. She delivered me, Fiosa, from House Throne. And her genuine positivity, love, embrace, optimism, and hope fueled her and me and all of us beyond anything else that could have powered us. And she charged in smiling, full of hope, optimism, and dreams for a better future. And the Hell Knights took it in and burnt it all. Hope, dreams, and optimisms, they are the right thing, but they are not enough. And when that gets burnt away, you get assholes like me.
Agim had mentioned you'd lost someone, but I had no idea. Sombra, I'm so sorry.
So, I'm seeing cute little lovebirds with hearts in their eyes and stars towards the sky. And you know what? That's fucking great. Good. We kind of need sort of that. But that's not enough to keep them alive. And for anyone else in their world to end up jaded assholes who might decide to run headfirst into, who knows, Hell Knight armatures and any other dangers.
The door opens again, which Fiosa had left, cracked, and Ariel steps through with a small pouch of coins. Genevan and I aren't naive adepts who've never experienced loss on the battlefield before.
Nor was she.
We're prepared to lose it, to lose what we have. He drops the pouch on the table in front, in front of where you're standing. I appreciate your experience, and we would benefit from your participation in our group. But if you don't want to be here, there's nothing left keeping you here.
Drew needs to pay. The fiery fuckers need to pay. So...
He smiles.
Concerned citizens for the community? Yeah, sure. Do I need payback? Fuck yes. And as Sombra says that, she's going to punch one more time. But this time there is a heavy, windy weight to the punch. Like something just pulses out of end of Sombra's fist. And any furniture or porcelain all just shakes in the room.
As the after effects of whatever occult energy just came out of your fist dissipate. Ariel nods and Fiosa's smiling. Good. Then I think this is a great start for us.
Sombra leans over and just drags the coin pouch and you hear it, the metal going over. I'll be expecting some more of this too.
Understood.
She goes back to punching without her responding.
I think at some point, Nico, Zekun, and Flint need to arrive. And I feel like it would make sense if they arrived at the same time, maybe?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'm cool with Flint arriving. He does need the letter to, make his case to superiors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we want to come back and find out what what the deal is with these concerned citizens.
Did you stop by Vizio's for your cart?
Yeah, I'll stop on the way and grab it.
Okay, you grab the cart. Unfortunately, any wares or food that you had on there have been, in the last 24 hours, either pilfered or destroyed by Hell Knights rampaging. The cart itself, along with your beautiful shading mechanism, is still intact.
Okay.
Hell Knights hate books and veggies. Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
They only eat meat.
Meat. Oh.
That should make sense because they got a bulk up, right? So you need the protein.
I have an alternative.
Yeah. Do you want a milkshake that's also steak?
So I walk into the place, into the shrine, with Zekun. I guess maybe Flint's there yet, or at the same time, having a conversation, going, yeah, and they smashed all my vegetables because they hate vegetables apparently, and they only eat meat. But what I was trying to say, and I didn't word it right, was that you can get all the nutrition that a steak can provide without having to murder a creature. You can get that in a delicious smoothie. I got to work on the pitch because they weren't having that. Anyway, hi everyone. Hello.
I think Flint was going to knock, but heard familiar voices and just kind of came in.
I would like to suggest that if Ariel was talking to Sombra, Sombra would have said, "There's something I picked up at the scene that you should know. Call in Genevan." And at this point, we're just sort of over the table talking about the letter. Perhaps Sombra would invite Ariel and Genevan to make a copy of this letter.
Okay.
So we're just talking over the table, recounting in detail,
Right.
and the letters in the middle.
When you hear the door open and familiar voices coming in as well. So Flint, you see them, you come around the corner, you see Zekun and Nico sort of park the cart.
Yeah, I probably told them actually, like, to know when to go back.
Ooh, little copper work, hitting the beats.
I knew that Nico had to go back for the cart. I knew where it was, so I just had to look out for a cart.
There's no donuts on that cart.
Yeah.
I'm just here for a smoothie.
We see Flint like poke his head around the corner and he's like eating something that he nabbed off of the cart, one of the few things remaining. When Genevan pokes her head out of the dining room as the two orcs walk in, and Nico, you can see, if you look past her, you can see Ariel, Sombra, Lowen, and Theosa, the halfling woman, all in the room talking. Genevan furrows her eyebrows. I thought you weren't interested in coming back.
Who me?
Am I wrong?
Oh, no, yeah, no, I want to come. I want to come back, and I was gonna have a chat with Vidi and see how everyone got on, because it was a bit of a mess, and we helped everyone out. I just want to see how it's all fallen into place. And have you read this new information that we discovered as well?
We were just discussing it. She looks between you and Zekun. Well then, you're welcome. My apologies, Vidi's not here.
Oh, what? Where is he?
He went up to the Ramble Gardens.
Oh, okay. That's a worry.
He can handle himself. He knows the area.
That's fair, but you also just got into a whole heap of trouble recently. So you'll have to excuse me if I don't take that too seriously.
Well, come on in, and she
Thank you.
welcomes you into the dining room where everyone is. And then, as soon as the door shuts, it maybe creaks open again.
I think the door goes to shut, but there's a foot in the door as Flint comes in and goes, "Sorry, I just came to pick up a bit of paperwork, but it seems that it's already the subject of conversation." So he'll nod and goes, "Gentlemen, ladies."
Oh, hey, Flint.
Hey.
Sombra will just pick up the piece of paper and just between her two fingers and just hold it back towards Flint.
Much obliged. He pops it as well, tucks into his cape and goes, "So, how are you all getting on, our concerned citizens?"
Ariel smiles confidently as he sees that the group that spearheaded his rescue have all returned. I'm feeling optimistic. That rescue this morning was quite daring, and I think we might have Iomede's blessing this day.
It's a little snort and says,
Just crickets.
"That's
Like tumbleweeds. I'm like, it was.
Yeah, no, I think like there was definitely a moment where everyone's just like, everyone who's not enraptured is kind of like, okay.
What, I mean,
We're such assholes. Except Zakun, I'm sure, was very genuine, and Nico, but the rest of us are such assholes.
I mean, if Iomade was watching over us while we carefully planned every single detail of that rescue, then yeah, I felt it. I felt that.
Sure, yeah, I appreciated Iomade's watchful eyes over our careful plans.
What would we have done without them?
If only they actually came down and did something about it.
Out of character, do y'all know what Iomade's domains are?
I had it.
I knew, but I forgot.
Is it like justice and valor or something?
This is a great chance for them to be like, Iomade got the justice and balance, actually.
But always being prepared for the fight, I believe. Something to this effect.
Along those lines.
Right, okay.
So maybe, yeah.
Does anyone want to give religion checks?
Yes, I do.
Sombra should not.
I
These will be secret. These will be secret.
I'll hit that
checks.
secret check.
Actually, no, I don't think Lowen cares enough. I don't think. I'm just gonna leave it.
I mean, it might be interesting just to see what you know.
True. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
If you're-
Do you have
yeah.
to be trained in it? Because I'm not.
You don't?
Yeah, because I sure aren't.
Okay. Cool. I'll go.
Secret checks?
roll
Okay.
Anyway.
Secret checks. Okay, well, you all definitely know a few basics. You know the basics about Iomade. Yes, honor and justice are her areas of concern, as well as rulership and valor. That she is sort of a goddess of battle as well. And that part of some of her edicts are fighting for justice and honor, and never abandoning a companion in need or refusing a challenge from an equal.
Oh, I should know about Iomade then, I guess. That makes justice particularly should be... Alright, Flint should be so flippant then.
Sure. After Asmodeus, who of course is the patron deity of Cheliax, Iomade is the second most worshipped here. Mostly because of her relationship to Aroden, as she is known as the inheritor and inherited his sort of place in the pantheon. But also those Chelaxians who maybe don't feel so comfortable worshipping the forces of hell can worship her and her areas of rulership and nobility. And that tends to be the noble houses of Cheliax.
Right.
Nico, on top of all that, you would even know about her main temple here, which is not in the best of shape, as it doesn't receive any public funding due to the head priestess wanting to fund it all herself, which is why it's taking a long time to rebuild that temple.
So what is Iomade inspiring you to do then, concretely?
If a battle plan goes smoothly, it's said Iomade is watching over us. Her hand is guiding us on the battlefield, and that's exactly what I believe here. And Sombra, I believe our next step is to confront the Bastards of Erebus. Ariel sort of like puts his fist on the table. We need a win to put our group on the map and to show the people of West Crown that we want to make this a better place. What better opportunity than to take down the bastards who have been wreaking havoc across Rego Cater and Rego Crua over the last few months.
Does lie in with my own thinking. At the moment, the main issue seems to be the bastards. That's what's bringing Hell Knights. No bastards, no Hell Knights. Less problems. Jacopudio mentioned that they've been seeing a lot of issues with the Hell Knights. I could try to talk to Randatari.
Ariel's nodding. He's like, yes, more. Brainstorming, love it.
Above table, would Lowen have heard about the bastards or have more background info on them, maybe? Because I think
Let's
they're
get
kind of in...
underworld check.
Yes, I can do that.
Anyone with
blind
Underworld?
or- I am. I
Yeah,
have
my two
Underworld,
underworldies.
Yes.
I love that we have two people with underworld roles. Wow, interesting. You both rolled the same result on the die.
Ooh.
Was it a good result?
One of you is twice as knowledgeable as the other. Who is it?
I don't know.
It's Lowen, who's of course the most intelligent person in the party.
Yeah, of course. That's why
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot about that.
Sombra, before yesterday morning, you hadn't heard of the Bastards of Erebus. You literally arrived back in West Crown from being at sea yesterday and having been doing a lot of traveling the last...
A lot of agriculture exchange.
Yes. But Lowen, you have heard of them because it's made your work a little bit more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
The bastards have been stealing into Rego Crua at night. You're not sure how. Your best guess is that it's through a crack in the wall that separates the ruins from the city. Stealing into the Rego Crua at night, and not just stealing property from people, but also murdering them in their beds. Leaving wooden coins with a devil's head engraved on them.
Oh, it's fine. Lowen's not going to actually continue. Lowen's not going to bring that to the table. He's going to hold on to that information for now.
I'm just making faces.
Sombra has encountered them. I've totally forgot.
Yes.
Yep.
Is that wooden coins with what?
The side silhouette of a devil's face.
Any specific silhouette? I know some devils might have a specific look, but...
Above the table, my notes say, wooden token left at scene of crime. A leader, brand of a pentagram, claims to be a priest of Asmodeus. Palavin?
Palavin, yes, indeed. You're not trained in religion,
No, I wouldn't know.
What kind of devil or the name Erebus doesn't necessarily mean anything to you.
I think people would have noticed that during a lot of these conversations, Lowen doesn't say a lot. They're just there, as per their own legend, observing, analyzing.
Flint, I had given you one of those wooden tokens. Do you still have one?
Yeah, Flint says, yeah, hang on. Checks under his cloak, puts everything else and pulls it out. This?
This. And Sombra holds up this wooden token that's very crudely carved.
Oh, actually, wait, can we just, can I flick it to Sombra so she can catch it out of the air?
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Sombra just sort of grabs it out of the air.
Nice.
Do I see it? What's on it?
She'll hold it out in the middle of the table for everyone to behold and gaze.
Ooh. I think I know what that is.
Do you?
You've seen it before?
As the only person here trained in religion, I will give this one to you. You recognize the name Erebus, which is the third layer of hell, and the vaults, the treasuries of hell, ruled by Memon, the Grasping One, or the Argent Prince, an archdevil.
Yeah, that's pretty evil. That's a pretty evil iconography.
This is just getting worse all the way down.
Yeah. It's big evil, and it's like to do with wealth as well.
Ariel nods. There's no direct evidence that the bastards are serving Memon himself. They could just be using the name, and they are all Nephilim, so maybe that's a part of their brand. They might just be using it to intimidate.
Ariel, didn't we hear that their leader was claiming to be an Asmodean priest?
He nods.
Definitely on brand then.
Yeah, that's a hell of a brand.
The fucker had a name. What was it? Palavine?
Sombra, Morris, and I were in the Cater yesterday morning, and we received some intel that their leader, Palavine, a Nephilim who might be a priest of Mammon, has a pentagram upside down tattooed on his forehead. It could be a archdevil's cult, but we're just treating them as a basic gang, a murderous gang at that. Genevan nods. Iako's intel is that they're way too well funded to just be random bandits. And the fact that neither Hell Knights nor Rundatari have done anything to stop what they're doing makes us think they might be... She looks at Flint momentarily and then, looks away. They might have inside sources or are being protected somehow.
Well, all the more reason I need this. And he waves the letter around. I'm going to take it to my superiors, see if we can't get some boots on the ground. If you all would be willing to make a statement, that could go a long way to helping out.
What sort of statement do you want from us? To explain exactly how we got this letter?
I mean more so of the, I think he looked at our concerned citizens. I promise Yako that we do things to help. Perhaps the situation could be both ways. All I need is enough people to make a stink.
Crickets.
Grimaces.
Yeah, now we got reverse crickets. I think Flint looks at them, realizing that they're not willing to put their necks that far on the line.
No.
So he backtracks, all right. Or otherwise, if you all are going out there to deal with the situation, yeah, I reckon I could come along and maybe help out at least with the Randatari, see what we can do from there. For the moment, our objectives into line.
Genevan frowns, but Ariel, he's been smiling this whole time. Having an honored member of the Tatari on our side would really lend a lot of credence to what we're trying to do. Corporal, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is
Lowen
there another
bursts out
Atari around
laughing.
here?
No one just bursts out laughing. Like, oh no, so
Yeah,
forgive me,
Flint,
sorry,
even
that was a really
Flint's
funny
like,
joke.
you are laying it on thick, my friend.
I don't know. You're very easy to take on the help, but he's literally just asked you for help, and you've not stepped up to that either. You want to be a big name, a big group, but why aren't you willing to lend a hand in that respect either?
We are, but I was arrested by the Tatari yesterday. I don't know how good it would be if I were to step forward and reveal myself again.
Well, they know who you are. So wouldn't it be another slap in the face if you just went, haha, yeah, it was me?
Flint leans against the wall, enjoying seeing them scoring a bit. As the local honored Tatari, I understand that maybe it might be a bit hard for you to come forward. Explain to me why you were arrested.
I've been making waves in the wrong places. I don't necessarily benefit from the full protection of the Iomedean Church at the moment. And Nico, something clicks in your head from that very good religion check you had earlier.
Oh, let's hear it.
He might still be serving Iomede and could be even benefiting from her grace, her patronage. But hearing that makes you think he's been excommunicated.
Yeah. Oh.
Look, I've been through with you four at least. I feel like we can, at the very least, trust each other, watch each other's backs, yes?
Sure.
Let's just say that I'm fully aware what it's like to have your superiors not always have your backs as much as you'd like. But like I said, our objectives align. If you're going in to deal with these bastards, well, so am I.
We can agree that our methodology might be a little different, but the goal is still the same.
Well,
I, for one, it would not be helpful that I be pranced in front of the Tari. Not with my background, anyway.
not all Tatari are quite as stuffy as you might think.
Tatari.
Yeah, not all Tatari.
I'm so sorry.
Not all.
A dab.
No.
A tab, yeah.
Okay, let me rephrase. Not every hand of the law is quite as zealous as you may have found. I am more interested in the bigger fish. If helping you helps me, then I'll keep you safe out of the law's way.
I think we're doing a pretty good job. But you also have to appreciate that some creatures catch fish by casting shadows and being quiet.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Nico's scratching his head thinking, I've been in nature a lot, but I'm trying to think of the creature that casts shadows to catch fish.
There's a bird that the cormorants do it.
Bird.
Cranes.
It's the birds.
They cast shadows over the water and they spread their wings.
Have we just found out that someone was secretly really into birds and we just didn't realize?
I listen to birds. And the fishes swim into the shadow.
That's a great analogy, because I'm wondering who's pulling the strings here. I don't think we have all the information.
Definitely not. That much we
I
can
mean-
all agree
Then we
on.
need to find it out. That's
Well,
the whole.
Yeah, I mean we've got these people here. So Ariel, can you just what's the group's goals? What are your goals? What were you saying that got you into trouble? I want to know a little bit more about your group. That's all. If we want to, work together, I need to know who we're working with.
I've been a little too obvious in my recruitment methods. Well, the Order of the Rack has been gunning for me for a while. Yesterday, when Morris and I tried to pass through Obricken Gate back into Krua, the Rundatari picked us up. I assume that at least one or two of them are in the pocket of the rack.
So you're recruiting for the church, right? That's what you're doing.
I would rather think they're recruiting for their cause, and Flint points around at the Concerned Citizens Brigade.
If this holy place is our church, then sure, yes.
Krifu, I would like to use a feat called Lie to Me while we're talking. I know it's usually like back and forth, but Lowen has been engaging with this conversation. And essentially I'm trying to see if at any point he's just lying. Which means I can use my deception skill to try and figure out if people are lying to me.
Okay.
That is a 22.
Because the sense motive action does have the secret trait, so normally that would be, but
No, this one is not.
interestingly, because basically the big difference is that Lie to Me lets you use deception, plus you could use a hero point on it.
Ah, smart.
He's not lying about any of this. He's definitely cloaking.
Yeah, this guy is absolutely like
definitely-
smoothing the edges of this conversation.
Yeah. So
yeah.
if I continue with Lad, ask him about his group and his recruitment, like, and so how does the church feel about the recruiting? Do they know? They must know.
Just straight in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sombra's absolutely glaring daggers.
What at Nico?
No, at Ariel.
Somebody's always glaring daggers. It could be anybody.
There.
It's true. Daggers all around. High Priestess Silver Eye, she can't publicly advocate for a cause such as this. Lowen, he's lying.
No, just goes.
Sup?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I just think, why is that? Sorry, I'm not someone of faith myself. I'm just interested.
As a respected member of the religious community, she needs to toe the line so that House Thrune and the government at West Crown doesn't come down on her and all other faithful Iomedeans.
Fascinating.
That sounds fair.
He says it like a such a way, and he just looks towards him that he doesn't buy it at all. It just.
So, as a high priestess, you've got to absolutely be bout and stick to those tenets. No, I get that. Yeah, totally.
Yes, and she also has to play the political game. So I, being on the streets and in the shadows, can do more good for the people of West Crown, whilst maybe not bearing any official
Well, a question.
responsibility.
Well, this is just from my own concern here, but do you have anyone who can vouch for you? I mean, for all we know, you could have just.
What are
you
your
could have
references?
For all we know, you just stepped in here and you started claiming stuff. Obviously, we'd like to know for sure before we put our,
If
our lives
Sombra
on the
glances
line.
at Fiosa during this line of conversation that we are questioning Ariel's integrity and motivations, what's her facial expression like?
She's worried. She has like this furrowed brow of concern. She's sort of looking around. She doesn't like how hard Ariel's being questioned.
We're just having a conversation. We're just asking.
Just asking about references.
Geneva interrupts. I'm sorry, is this a job interview? I thought you wanted to help.
Well, you'll see during a job interview, you're also allowed to ask your future potential employer some questions, so you know what you're getting into. That is considered fair, usually.
I wouldn't consider them employers. I think this is like it's a partnership, right? So we want to.
Well, they did over to hire my services, so
I
I think
didn't
that would be
get
a
that
job.
offer.
You guys are getting paid?
You guys get paid. What?
No. That was the whole problem. They didn't have any money just yet. That was the whole problem.
Oh,
Unfortunately, no, Lowen. The Dorjanala and High Priestess Silvereye can't publicly acknowledge me and the works we're doing.
but they know
I
you're
see.
doing this. They obviously.
Yeah, can we have some names so we can ask?
Griff, do you mind if I quickly roll a sense motive? No, there's no insight.
Yes, this one is secret. It's a secret
That's
perception
cool, because
check.
Flint's watching this all happen and realizing that maybe there's more to this, but maybe also letting them lie to us might be the worst thing in the world if, again, we get what we want. So, sense motive.
Right. Flint, you know the Lowen can tell that Ariel's full
Yeah.
of shit.
Yeah.
Half full of shit. And you can tell that Nico is also vibing on that. But you're right that at a certain point, doesn't matter how full of shit he is or how much of this is really feeding his own ego.
Yeah.
Which is what you're all picking up on that. but
I'm
Flint
the
kind of has an
resistance
official role
leader.
with
I'm
that.
the show. It's just like, I get it. So I'm going to turn to the crew and say, hey guys, do you mind if I have a private word for a second? We'll be right back.
Sure.
Fine.
Yeah.
Right. You have things to consider. I understand the trust is not quite there yet, but I hope, he smiles, that it will come in time.
Flint smiles back and it's all the most jagged teeth and there's way too many.
He nods to Genevan and Viosa, who, as she's leaving, she puts a hand on Sombra's shoulder and then steps out. And they shut the door behind them.
He's full of shit.
He's completely full of shit, but 1 second. I put my ear to the door, just checking if anyone's listening.
They're probably not listening. They wouldn't do that. They're too honorable.
If there's no listening, I turn back until I go, oh yeah, full of shit. But it's not the worst shit I've ever... Look, I've dealt with a lot
They're
of
trying
people
very
full of
hard
shit.
to polish their turd.
This is a very polished turd, am I right?
Yeah, it is, but I'm just worried that these people are going to drag good people into a fight that costs them their lives. They've already got themselves in trouble already, and we're very lucky that we were around. All those people out there with doe eyes at them, they might not be so lucky.
You're right.
Vidi might not be so lucky.
I absolutely concur, Nico.
Maybe we need to get him off his pedestal.
Well, guys, listen. Before any of that, Nico, let me ask you, why are you here? Why did you decide to come back? You've got people you want to look after, right? We've already seen that if the Hell Knights move in, your communities could be endangered.
That's right.
Lowen, you're looking to get paid, right?
In some way or form. I don't necessarily mean monetary payment. Information is just as valuable.
Very good. So it behooves you to come with us in this information gathering journey. In the meantime, I would recommend making sure you get a little bit of coin off these guys, though. If they're looking to shine that turd nicely, it might be worth something.
Good point. I like your thinking.
And Sombra, you've got some kind of personal stake here, I can tell.
House Throne ruined my fucking life, and the Hell Knights burned my wife in front of me.
That is an extremely personal take, and I understand you a little better now, I think.
No.
All right. Regardless, we're all here for our own reasons to deal with a problem. Now, whether they're full of shit or not, if they can help us to deal with these problems, they're really the only allies we've got right now. So let's take what we can while we can, and all with a pinch of salt. But I don't think we're going to get too far by getting up their arses. Pardon the phrase.
I agree. I'm happy to gather some more information and keep my communities and friends safe.
Right.
I have got worries that there's something much bigger going on. The fact that letter, how is it that the mayor can just call on Hell Knights?
Well, House Thrune do have a certain amount of power here, but it doesn't stand to reason to be asking the Hell Knights when we as the Datari are here. That said, if someone in the Datari is allowing these bastards to run rampant or worse, then it stands to reason that will only end up exacerbating the Hell Knight problem. At the end of the day, all our problems stem from this bastard situation. We get in there, we deal with that, we cull the Hell Knight situation, and we find out what the deal is with the mayor and the Hell Knights. That's my plan, at least.
Yes, but it sounds like, Flint, we are agreeing that it's shiny, but it's still shit. And she raises her hand and refers to the people beyond the door. And that the Datari can't be trusted. So that's as much as you want to consider them an avenue, that might not really be fruitful for us. So are we suggesting that we are the only ones that have to and can address any of this?
Speaking as a Datari, it is my job to address this. Whether or not you consider that honorable is up to you. My point is that whether you are with me or not, I'm going to be doing this. I would prefer if our objectives aligned, regardless of how much I gesture to the door shit might be around. Do we have to keep saying that it's shit? I'm starting to get lost in the metaphor here.
Yes, keep going. It's funny.
All right, fair enough.
It's only funny when you say
Gee.
it.
What I'm trying to explain is they're small fry and their usefulness might soon be outdated. That the Tatari as an institution is not exactly something we're looking forward to running to, Flint. Therefore, the options are, and she looks at every person in this room.
Well,
Oh, you're asking for
I think she was looking at us as in like, we are the options.
You are.
Yeah.
All of you.
I thought you were going to say some options.
Yes.
I have
Yes.
options. She lifts one fist and she lifts the other.
Plan A, Plan B.
Yeah, plan B. Yeah.
Justice, retribution.
Love, hate. No, it's a different one.
Look, Sombra, regardless, I see how you look at that, young lady. You've got someone you want to protect, right? And she's involved with these guys.
I don't want her to end up like other halflings that my wife and her people have dedicated so much to give back to.
So all the more reason to stamp out the problem before it gets to that point. Now, I'm not saying that it has to be just us. I've got others in the force that can help. I understand you all have your issues with the Tatari. We're not exactly the most liked in the city. I get it. But work with me and the people I trust so that we can all prosper.
You've earned that much from me, at least, Flint.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Sombra.
Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Cheers. I'm sure Zakun will come around in time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest, I'm not really sure about that. Yeah, I'm not. I think it's going to be a while before Zakun and I see eye to eye.
If we are going to do this, and it seems like we are, I'd really appreciate it if we had a look up in the Rago Cader, if we started there. Just from the letter, that's really worrying me. It seems a lot is going up there, and I've got people there.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's understandable. I can speak to Dorotas Ratchin. They're on the level. We need to get some help. At the very least, it would be a good idea to get a bit of forethought and information about the bastards first. I'll know what the Tatari know, and then you'll know what I know.
What will happen if the Tatari bump into the Hell Knights?
Well, if this Tatari bumps into Hell Knights, there's going to be less Hell Knights.
Okay.
Look, I can assure you of one thing, and that is that Dorotas Ratchin is no friend of Hell Knights.
Well, that's good to know.
I'll go speak to Dorotas, and we can all meet up afterwards. Everyone get their time in. Sombra, maybe you want to have some time with your friend before we all head off.
I think that might be wise. Later, I'll let you know everything I ran into about those bastards. Last time that Errol and I got tangled with them. Well, that was yesterday. Seems like forever ago. All right. I can take you back to the scene of the crime. And there explain exactly what I ran into. How they look like, how to identify them. And Sombra sort of peeks out at the window. Meet me at the Obrigan Gate in 2 hours. I'll see you there. And she just sort of gets up, puts her hand on the table, looks at everyone, sighs, takes it back, and walks to have a quiet goodbye with Fiosa.
I'm not going to lie, I did think you were going to jump out the window Batman style. Like, for a moment, I thought we were going to look at the window, look down, Sombra's gone.
Look up, look away, look back, they're gone.
All right, I'll see you all there then. And yeah, Flint will make his way as well. Oh, actually, no, before he does, that sword, can I give it to Lauren just to have a look at?
Oh, yeah. But that's where we'll end the episode today.
I don't have any identifying spells or anything. I can
Wait.
try. But...
Oh, really? Oh, okay, never mind then.
Tumble Through presents Twilight's Edge, a Pathfinder 2e actual play of the Council of Thieves adventure path, converted from Pathfinder 1e. Tumble Through uses trademarks and or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's fan content policy. Paizo.com/licenses/fan content. Tumble Through is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com.